planning for already at a presentation and everything, and as soon as he needed the internet to work, bro, that shit cut off. Felt so bad for him. I was on the phone with Rogers and all kinds of shit with my Dukes. Like, yo,
Fucking pain.
cause he's not the angry type. He doesn't really get mad like that, and I could tell he was fuming, like, bro. And I'm like, hey man, you got a little taste of my world.
I mean, yeah, that internet shortage shit, fucking that flimsy ass infrastructure, second the wind blow everything gone.
Mm-hmm.
That shit not it.
Oh, let's just hope that it cooperates today.
I get so excited,
Fingers
flying
crossed.
like a pilot. Yeah, I know you fuck with me. Why the fuck you fighting? I get so excited, flying like a pilot. Yeah, I know you fuck with me. Why the fuck you fighting? I'm a trending topic. I don't like the gossip. Drugs inside my pocket. Nigga, fuck the optics. Like my bitches got it. Like I'm so chaotic. Yeah, I like
Oh,
the
okay,
birds
thank
and
God.
songs.
I
Yeah,
thought I
I'm
said
so
I thought I typed the Patriots ruin stream. Like, no, it's supposed to be Steve. I'm about to stop the stream and start all over.
coming here. I don't like the talking. I don't like coming here. The way they fucking stalking. I'm a trending topic. I don't like the gossip. Drugs inside my pocket. Nigga, fuck the optics. Like my bitches got it. Like I'm so chaotic. Yeah, I like the birds and songs. Yeah, I'm so obnoxious. I get so excited. Flying like a pilot. Yeah, I know you fucking me. Why the fuck you fighting? I get so excited. Flying like a pilot. Yeah, I know you fuck with me. Why the fuck you fighting?
Bunga 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 bunga.
Let me see if you guys are still trying to play Star Wars
Hmm.
We were supposed to play River City Girls today. That should not go off. I don't know how we both made up a function that didn't exist in the game. She does not have
That's
online.
ridiculous.
That shit does not have online co-op. Now I definitely assumed it did. What's up, Mikey? I assumed it did. That was not the case.
Um, who made that shit? Way Forward, or they just published it? Niggas was like, oh, y'all gonna find out something real quick. Online play.
Think actually that's a good question. Arc system and I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I don't feel shit.
Okay, there's Zodiac. Yo, you still trying to run this Stardew or nah? I was just saying that we made the mistake of thinking River City Girls would just co-op. But you know what? Because it was a Nintendo, so I just expected, like, yeah, that's fine. Like, we co-op. And they were like, no. But, it is what it is. Where's my, are we in boardroom?
Yes.
Oh, what, next one.
Bonga bonga.
There we go. Now I can see the thingamajigger. Alright. How's everyone doing? Oh, let me, random. I'm gonna be tagging you on Twitter tomorrow. Otherwise, you're gonna feel my pain. What's the pain for? What did I do? I'm innocent. It wasn't me. Let me just do one thing and then we can start it.
What the fuck is this?
Excited.
Wow.
Do you remember your question about stats? Alright. Let me see what he says. Whenever you want to join the Farmers Open. Oh, I can just, is that how that works? I just hop in like that? I did not know. I do not co-op Stardew very often. I am lonely. I don't have a girlfriend to do this with. My sister even does this shit with her man. My little sister.
Man.
What am I doing? I work till my back break. That is the life I've lived. How you doing, brother?
I am just dandy. I went and got a haircut today, and now I have activated HAGE mode.
Hage. You cut it low.
HAGE!
You cut it low too? I cut my hair low always. Mad low.
Yeah. Man, listen, my shit was looking like I was looking like fucking Kodak when he had that fucking particle
Just
reef on his
stop.
head.
Nah, just stop now. Just stop. Just stop. I don't care what version of Kodak you talk about. Just stop. I'm glad you got a
So
haircut. Oh my god. That's nothing else needs to be said. Jesus Christ Almighty.
took all that shit the fuck off. Now my head feel like 7 pounds lighter.
Mm-hmm.
We here.
Okay. All right. First of all, start with the article. Just because of CG Project Red stuff, and let's just get it out of the way because I'm so tired of these niggas getting canceled or whatever.
Yeah, so once again, the saga known as the downfall of CD Projekt continues. So, on the 4th of May this month, apparently, Witcher 3 director leaves CD Projekt Red following bullying allegations.
Mm-hmm.
And don't worry, I have the article. So the article reads as follows. And I give out a preface. I'm not Polish, so if there's any Polish niggas watching this, I do apologize. I can't pronounce y'all names. I'm black. Konrad Tomaskiewicz, Wiz, director of The Witcher 3, has resigned from his position at CD Projekt after being accused of workplace bullying, Bloomberg reports. Conrad reportedly told CD Projekt staff that an internal investigation found him not guilty of this alleged behavior, but he is nevertheless stepping away due to what he referred to as fear, stress, or discomfort employees may feel while working with him. Conrad also apologized for the bad blood he caused at CD Projekt. After joining CD Projekt in 2004 as a junior tester on The Witcher, Conrad quickly rose through the ranks with his work on the fantasy role-playing series. He was promoted to vice president of game development in 2019 and most recently acted as the secondary game director and head of the production of the much maligned Cyberpunk 2077. According to Bloomberg, there was expectations before Conrad's departure that he would play a key role in developing the next Witcher game after his success with the previous installment, which has sold over 30 million copies since its 2015 release.
Wow.
And that's it.
What's up, face? That's crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
Zodiac, I goofed, bro. I have to get Nintendo Online, and my credit card's not on me. And I don't even pay for my Nintendo Online. I'm about to hit up my best friend and say, "Hey, yo, this shit ran out. Re up. Need to re up." So I goofed. It's my fault, man. I'm just turning this off. But yeah, CD Project Red shenanigans ensued. Mara, do you remember your question at all from last time? By the way.
About the leveling,
Yeah,
the
something about leveling with weapons, and then something about leveling whatever. But yeah, I'm an idiot. I'll get my shit together. I swear. Nothing. This was just one of those things where it's math funny. We're like, oh yeah, we'll play. I thought we were gonna play earlier. I played ball, came back. I think he said he was eating, right? And then then we're like, all right, let's run it. Then I'm like, okay. I open the thing. I'm like, there's no co-op. He's like, fuck. Then we decided to play something else, and then my dumbass doesn't even have fucking online. Must have ran out in the last week because I know I was playing. My friend was playing something online with me. I can't remember, but anyways, character leveling versus weapon leveling. You dinosaur. There we go. Let's start with that. We'll start there. Okay. I guess the contrasting comparison of the two. Which one do we prefer? What's better? What's not better? What are your thoughts?
um I prefer the weapon leveling. I really like that system a lot. And also, I mean, I don't know if it's just a placebo effect on me, but it also helps um it also helps grinding feel less monotonous. So like if I'm primarily a sword user and I max out or get my sword stat pretty high, I wouldn't mind okay like starting over with like a fucking axe or like a bow and arrow and that's level one and I have to use that to level it up. It doesn't feel as monotonous and fucking mind numbing than your standard JRPG fashion or MMO fashion grinding. So yeah, I prefer the weapon leveling. I think it's really fun. I think it's realistic as well, and I actually wish more games would use it. more often.
Uh, do I have a preference? I would give the slight edge to weapon. I mean, I have to see how it works in every game and whatnot, I guess. But yeah, it's just I feel like with the character leveling up stuff, there's way more variables you tend to have to like look for. So it might be like from strength to defense to HP to all of this and yada yada. Maybe you have to distribute stuff, and a lot of those also will still have you wear some armor or something to boost and to have some accessories. Like they're doing too much. I don't understand why video games don't get this. Personally speaking, we're gonna speak about something related to this in a couple minutes, but I did not come here to play fucking pause menu management the game. I came to press buttons and play. Why the fuck am I constantly in the goddamn menu screen doing a bunch of nothing? Swapping out bronze sword for silver sword because I have one more defense. Like, bro, I hate this shit. So, any game that simplifies that to any degree, and I find that weapon leveling systems simplify that stuff, it makes it less annoying for me. So yeah, I would go with that. But would you say do you have any instances where you think like a game that with a character leveling up system was really good?
Well, I actually don't have heat with
Okay,
character leveling, and you know
I do.
it has layers to it because you have the games where they just automatically increase all of your stats, and then you have other games where they just give you a set amount of stat points and you're free to distribute it however the hell you want. I don't have an issue with either or. Now, games that use character leveling that I thought was really good. I mean, shit, games I played I thought was really good. It didn't really have anything to do with the character leveling system to begin with. Like, for example, Tales of the Abyss is one of my favorite JRPGs. It uses the traditional character leveling system where when you level up and your stats freaking go up by themselves. I didn't care for that. Right? But I don't have a problem with it either. I just prefer weapon leveling. It feels more direct. I want to say it feels more
it cuts.
personal.
I feel like it cuts out all the noise. Just get straight to the point. Like make your fucking shit stronger.
Yeah, and I feel like with those games I get to actually played how the hell I want to play and whatnot. I don't have to be shafted because well I like to be an in your face nigga, but the game greatly prefers people who use fucking magic, for example. So now I force to fucking use magic or whatever the fuck. But I don't got heat with either or. I mean, yeah, I don't have heat with either or. I more have heat with forcing me to fucking grind with those traditional character leveling mechanics. That's where my heat begins.
Understandable. All right. Um, I'm trying to think. Like, you see, the reason that I really appreciate about to slurp up the meat of Paper Mario is that game kind of just gives you like during the three stages of the game, beginning, middle, and end, you kind of have a set attack, right? Based on your gear, you have your boots, your super boots, your ultra boots. Then you got your hammer, your super hammer, your ultra hammer. Um, and now the only way for you to end up doing more damage and stuff is to add medals that suit your playstyle or to add attack up medals, which cost a lot of BP and stuff. So you can increase your attack and whatever, but it's kind of set that way. And the reason that I've always liked it too because you basically get two forms of attack that have different uses. So like obviously the jump attack you use to jump on airborne enemies and shit, but you can't jump on spiked enemies. But the thing about it is you attack twice. So if you have the ultra, we'll just go to the latest version of this. So you have the ultra boost, ultra hammer. You do 3 and 3 damage for a total of 6. But if an enemy has a defense of 1, you'll actually do 2 and 2, which is 4. So for a moment like that, you use the hammer. So at least you do 5 damage. That cuts out so much fucking noise that I have to deal with concerning my attack and defense, and I like shit like that. So I appreciate Paper Mario for that. But Paper Mario also lets you know Customize your
Yay!
characters and your party
Bonita.
to your
Peace,
to your thing.
peace.
Thank you for the sub, my guy. The face mix. Yes, sir. Okay. But did you want to chime in? Real quick on that or?
Well, yeah, I actually don't have an issue with the freaking menu management, and I don't have an issue with having a lot of stats either because those games that have a lot of stats, they're more akin to tabletop games, specifically like freaking Dungeons and Dragons,
Mm-hmm.
where you have a lot of fucking stats and whatnot, and you gotta distribute those stats. I don't have an issue with that. But yeah, it is a lot of wiggle room. Usually, I don't really care about fucking any of that stuff. If that shit put up a lot of my attack power, I don't care if it put down my defense and made me move a little bit slower. Just hit him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good off all that. I'm not gonna. Well, this puts up 5 attack, but it take down my defense by 2. However, this one it put up my attack by 3, but put up my defense by 6. No, I'm taking the one that puts my attack up by 5, and I'm keeping it pushing.
I could, you know what though? I can respect that. You're like me. You have a style, you have a preference, and you don't have to think about it. I'm the opposite of you. I need my defense and mobility. I will not sacrifice it for more attack power. I don't have to think about it in most instances. I get that. That's fine. I have no problem with that. He said, "Give me more attack, bitch." Ain't
I'm like, yo,
nobody.
I'm just gonna hit him, so let me hit him.
I'm gonna
Damn.
kill you before you could do anything. See me, I'm extra. I gotta flip, dip, block, reflect. I got a swag on the boss. You know what I'm saying? So I'm extra. I get it. I totally get it. I respect it.
But games like Elder Scrolls and Kingdom Come and those games where your stats, you have a bunch of stats, but they only go up if you do that thing. So, AKA the weapon leveling, I like that a lot. Like, so for example, in Kingdom Come, your speech stat will only go up if you talk to niggas. So if you don't go around talking to civilians or whatnot, it goes up literally every time you talk to a character. It doesn't have to be a special NPC. So if it's just a random dork walking into city town or where you go to shop or what may have you, it goes up a little bit. So if you don't do that, you ignore everybody, then you get up to the point where you playing the main story and you talking to NPC and you could, if your speech that was high enough, you would be able to not have to do a steps A, B, and C.
Mhm.
You could just skip straight to D because your speech was high enough. Shit like that. I like. So yeah, I greatly prefer that type of system. You give me a lot of stats, but they only go up if I specifically use them. So then my character is now 101% tailored to how I play, and not just a bunch of random shit going up. I don't even know what the fuck what's what,
Ding ding ding
and
ding.
the game is just freaking a number cruncher in disguise, just a big fucking uh interactive calculator.
It's just
I'm good over that.
probability. Yeah, I'm good at Pokemon. So,
Uh,
um, no, well said. If you can customize it to your play style, that's always good. Because again, I would argue. Nah, actually, I have a lot of my friends who are really they love ranged shit, projectiles and stuff too, so they can like stay away and hit you with some magic. They'll do that. So, but me, I need to move fast. I need to not take damage if I get hit, and I don't care how much damage I'm doing like that. So, you know, I literally beat a boss with speed and wild arms 5 because no hit connected. It was evaded every time. It was wild to watch, especially when the bosses were hard. Hey man, that's what you need. A fade. All right, so Sony reinstates the PS3 and and the Vita, the PSN store and stuff. We didn't get to go too in depth on it last time, so we kind of wanted to kind of finish that conversation a little bit. Neo and Sekiro Shadow Die Twice are fun if you guys have played them. I've played Neo. I haven't really played the Shadow Die Twice one. I'm pretty sure that's. Am I thinking? No, I've played Ghost of Tsushima. No, oh wait, no. Which one has the one with the monkey carrying the head?
that's fucking Sekiro.
Okay, that's
Shadows,
sorry.
that's
I
all.
lied.
Yeah.
That's one I played. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, am I confusing them? But
Yeah.
yeah. What did you want to say? Oh, add on about the well, we were talking about video game legacy preservation. A
Mm-hmm.
lot in the last stream. So this is one of the most important things about that. And I feel like because Sony almost did it, people are gonna like rip all these games and shit just in case, we have it preserved through internet culture. But go ahead. I'm sure I have a lot of
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah. So, but before I answer that, I just want to reply to the quick rec. I am not a fan of From Software at all, nor that Souls-born style of gameplay that they've quote unquote invented. So I'm good off both of those games. I mean, I'll probably still play Sekiro maybe if I get it for fucking super cheap. But Neo, I actually own Neo 1 on PC. I'm good off that game too. But yeah, surprisingly enough, and thank God, Sony isn't as stubborn as who's it, Nintendo is when it comes to these things. So they got enough heat. The fire was getting a little too hot under their cheeks. So they said, "Oh, okay, we gonna take it back. We gonna keep the two PSN." And that's a fantastic thing. I'm very happy that they did that. I'm 101% glad they did that because there was no reason not to, especially since there were countless games. I forgot the exact number, but it's like at least like over 15,000 or some shit like that of games that were digital only that would be lost forever if they took down those PSN stores. So I'm glad that they did. And people making backups of all those games regardless, it's still needed. That's always needed. That's a fail safe, because at the end of the since unfortunately these servers they're run on physical things that take up physical space and money, they're not going to be there forever. So the fact that we have backups and that people are trying to make backups, it's a good thing. And I'm happy that freaking Sony didn't try to stick to their guns or double down or whatever the fuck, because there's no need for it.
Yeah,
Plus one to consumers.
we did it.
Thank God.
Nintendo would never.
Nintendo would never, boy.
Nintendo rather go bankrupt. Oh. Okay. Do you care at all about these PS5 shortages at all? I,
Absolutely not.
okay, you can move on.
But
Oh, go ahead. Oh,
I mean, but it's
I don't
it's
care.
more. I mean, I don't care about PS5 storage at all. But it's not just the PS5. It's everything. You know, Xbox had it, and then the PC gaming. There's a lot of hardware that's going through the same thing again, and it's unfortunate because these fucking miners and these scalpers, the end of the day, they giving these companies money, so they don't care. They getting their profit. It really doesn't matter to them. It don't matter what the fuck who buys it and what they doing with it, because they getting their profit at the end of the day.
Hmm.
And it's really an unfortunate thing. Specifically the PS5 thing, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Y'all can wait. But on the realm of, like GPUs and RAM and CPUs and shit like that, it's a fucking headache. We already went through this before, and the fact that we going through it again, round two, all this fucking crypto bullshit, it's it's real fucking unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just the pandemic stuff and everything too. So just like I don't know, I have an opinion. Just there's shortages. That's rough. But more, I don't care. It's like you have a PS5, I literally don't care. But now Sony's getting backlash because they're the only developers that are charging for crossplay. Nothing has really happened yet, but I've seen that they're getting some heat for that. I didn't even know other companies were even doing crossplay like that. Or I feel like some games maybe. I don't know. I have not paid attention to console gaming like that. I guess from that sphere, online shit. But I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I actually have a fucking article up about it. It says
Go ahead.
Sony, wow. Sony charges for crossplay support to protect PSN revenue, document show. Epic lawsuit shows that Sony gets royalties if too many PlayStation players spend money elsewhere. That's fucking ridiculous. 2018, a public outcry from Fortnite players seemingly pushed Sony to finally support crossplay on PlayStation 4. Until its big shift with Fortnite, Sony has repeatedly chosen not to support crossplay for games like Minecraft and Rocket League. Newly released documents from the Epic Games versus Apple lawsuit now show how Epic tried to negotiate with Sony for crossplay, and that once Sony did finally allow crossplay, cross-platform play, it began charging developers based on how much their game earned on other platforms.
Mm-hmm.
In a 2019 Sony document titled Cross Platform Revenue Share, Sony outlined a royalty payment policy for games that earn a significant portion of their money on platforms other than the PS4. If the proportion of PSN revenue share divided by the PS4 gameplay share for a title is less than 0.85 in any given month, the partner will pay Sony International Entertainment a royalty to offset the reduction in revenue. This shit is fucking ridiculous. Oh my god.
What? Yo,
That's
that's
a bit dense. But yeah, there's more. See, there's more.
it's not over.
That's a bit dense. But the gist is that Sony wants to ensure that PlayStation players aren't running off to spend their money elsewhere while still relying on Sony's servers slash infrastructure. Sony's example chart breaks down how its royalties payment would work. It shows how a game earning 1 million in a month across all platforms would owe Sony no cross play royalties if 900,000 of that total came from PSN. Well, 95
Wow. That's so yo. Sorry, keep going, keep going, keep going.
while 95% of the total player base was on Sony's platform. In that scenario, the PSN revenue share works out to 90%, above Sony's 85% threshold, meaning no royalty is owed. Sony's justification for the royalty payment seems to be its way of ensuring that if a ton of players are on its platform, it's going to see a proportional amount of revenue on PSN2, where it gets a 30% cut of in game purchases. If 20% of the total Rocket League player base were on the PS4, for example, but PlayStation players accounted for only 10% of the game's revenue because players buy way more skins on PC or something, Sony presumably thinks it's paying the PSN infrastructure costs for all those players but not getting the return it should for allowing cross-platform play. To offset the reduction in revenue, the game's publisher would owe Sony a royalty payment based on the gap between the PS4 player base and proportional PSN revenue. To ensure crossplay under the agreement, developers are required to share monthly reports with Sony detailing the PS4 revenue share. Jesus Christ. Based on this document, Sony is outright charging for crossplay on PlayStation, though it is just one page from what seems to be a large policy packet on crossplay. Only the revenue share page was submitted for the Epic v. Apple court case. Since the document was created in 2019, it's possible Sony's approach to crossplay has changed in the last 2 years. But according to Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, Epic had to agree to the terms for Fortnite crossplay to be allowed on the PS4. If somebody were primarily playing on PlayStation but paying on iPhone, then this might trigger compensation, he said in court on Monday. Sweeney also said that Sony is the only platform that requires compensation for crossplay support. I've reached out to Sony PR for comment on whether its policy has changed in 2019, as well as Microsoft, to ask whether it has comparable crossplay policies. An email exchange between Sony and Epic from early 2018, before the revenue share was established, offers an interesting glimpse into the negotiation to get Fortnite crossplay working. Epic's Joe Kreiner, who worked on business development for Unreal Engine, wrote that I can't think of a scenario where Epic doesn't get what we want. The possibility went out the door when Fortnite became the biggest game on PlayStation. Kreiner proposed multiple enticements to Sony to support crossplay, including sharing market data, branding Fortnite's E3 presence with PlayStation and Epic going out of its way to make Sony look like heroes when crossplay support is announced. Kreiner also pitched a potential future PSVR exclusive and even brought up the terms of Sony's company-wide Unreal Engine 4 license, which he pointedly mentioned was expiring in May 2019. That license has some of the best terms we've ever offered for UE4, Kreiner wrote. Let's make this a huge win for us all. Epic's not changing its mind on the issue, so let's just agree on it now. Sony remained unconvinced at the time. Former senior director Gio Corsi wrote back, there are a lot of great ideas in here for continued partnership. However, cross-platform play is not a slam dunk, no matter the size of the title. As you know, many companies are exploring this idea, and not a single one can explain how cross-console play improves the PlayStation business. It wasn't until months later in September 2018 that Sony acquiesced and began supporting crossplay. And that is the end of the article.
You know how you
Sony's
know?
out of their goddamn
You know
minds.
how they know they're on bullshit? Cause that's just word vomit to get somebody bored of the topic halfway through the fucking paragraph. Like they was doing all kinds of. They said, "Yo, You gotta see. Oh my, they are wildin'. Nah, they crooks for that. I can't get down with that. I just don't. I don't respect it. Not at all. Not one bit.
What's going on? What the hell did I just read? So,
Oh, they did the most because it's funny because by the end I lost the plot. I said, "Yo, that's how much they're doing all this dumbass shit." Okay, but what numbers suggest otherwise? Let's be as there's no suggestion by revenue that crossplay negatively affects them, but does it positively affect them and the PlayStation and Sony experience? I don't know. Therefore, that's what like the way that I see it too, in a lot of ways, is like there's you can look at it that way. You're a business, that makes sense to me. How does it positively affect you? But if this is something you're doing between us, let's just keep it for now. PC, Microsoft, and Sony, and they're all doing it. Wouldn't they all have the same problem, quote unquote, that none of them are getting whatever positive effect? And as long as no one is benefiting, it's all equal, so it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if that's good business though, but I don't know. That's why I'm over
Sony,
here broke on the couch.
Sony is like they are really fucking tyrants. It's what Sony really got a freaking um of damn, I forgot what the fucking phrase is called when you have the little water surrounding your castle. What's it called? I want to say a moat so bad, but it has like a fucking fence
Yeah.
all around this shit, and nobody's allowed to leave.
Mhm.
Everybody in the fucking Sony kingdom, they are fucking prisoners. What? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's a moat. So they got their fucking moat around their freaking kingdom, and nobody's allowed to leave.
Wait. Hold on. There's something called an economic mode.
Oh my god, help us
It's a
all.
distinctive method a company has over its competitors, which allows it to protect its market share and profitability. Okay, there you go.
They are literally the freaking SpongeBob meme with Squidward is looking out the window and SpongeBob and Patrick outside having fun.
Everybody cross-playing, having a good time, playing Apex or whatever. And we just like, I want to be over there. That's crazy.
Yeah, Sony is out of their goddamn minds. Like, bro, PSN is gonna be fine. Why y'all fiending like that? PSN is not in danger. Crossplay is not gonna put PSN in danger either. What are y'all afraid of?
We're exploring our options right now, as every other company is. Sounds like honestly, this sounds like a whole bunch of we don't want to do this, so we're gonna make it a pain in the ass to do it until you leave us alone and be like, well, if we're gonna do all this, guess we won't. Well, you see, the people that we were crossplay for, they pulled out. It's like no, I don't know. We'll see what they try to spin with that. But
Yeah, it's bananas. So the developer has to pay Sony if they want to enable crossplay if they shit is on their platform. That's son, it's who you want to be imprisoned by type shit. Pick your poison.
yes,
This is
exactly.
horrible.
Hey, pick the weapon I'll kill you
Which one you want, the dagger
with.
or the axe?
Is there a gun option?
Not just these two. Like, bro, that's oh my god.
We're exploring our options with melee weapons. Yeah, that's. I didn't even know it went that deep. Honestly, that's crazy. That's.
Yeah, that's fucking bananas.
Mhm.
And then you have to freaking report back to them monthly. Okay, this is how much we did this month. Is this okay to you, Sony Sama?
No. Mink, 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 mink.
Oh
Stop
shit,
beating
what
his
the
ass. Get out of here. Get out of my office.
and just because Sony has become so goddamn big in this whole video game business, who gonna tell them no?
Yep.
Damn. They need to at least start losing some goddamn wars, let me tell you.
um. Okay. Can we get a little bit of a snippet of your premature? I mean, I don't know how far you got into Village, but can I get some? Can I get some preliminary thoughts on the game? How you enjoying it? How you enjoying Resident Evil?
The game is fucking fantastic. Resident Evil Village, that game is it's I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm about two fourths within the game. Sadly, I've not gotten to play again after my first initial um
Mm-hmm.
play time or play session, but in that one play session I completed a fourth of the game. Right, I'm already fucking I already got 10-hour play time and shit. So the game is absolutely fantastic. I am loving it. It's RE engine. I should say this edition of the RE engine looks amazing. Graphics are fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy Ethan as a protagonist. He is 101% welcome into the RE family.
He's
The
still
setting,
this is sorry. This is the same guy from Seven though, right? But Seven
see,
was first person. Okay, cool. 'Cause I'm on this
yeah,
for everyone. This for anybody. I have to play Seven before I play Eight because I'm on. Oh, I beat. Well, I know what happens in Six. Did I beat Six? I don't even remember. I don't know. But I watched someone play and not like it the whole time. So go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, Lord knows. But yeah, Ethan is a wonderful addition to the RE family, and like the game story is it's so interesting. I'm so intrigued, and man, am I gonna go on a freaking big giant adventure? Like, one of the main issues that Resident Evil 7 had was a lack of enemy types. The game essentially only has um two enemy types, right? And a lot of people said they had a problem with that, which is 101% valid. I too had a problem with that. All right. So, man, Capcom said, "Oh, you want enemy types? You want priority? We gonna give you some damn priority." Jesus Christ, boy, the amount of different things you have to fucking fight in this game is bananas. And it's like, son, I miss 1998. I miss the zombie because the first enemies that you run into on this game are I'm assuming, well, not even assuming, I know. So they are part of freaking um Eisenberg's fucking crew and whatnot. They're pretty much, from what I could tell, pseudo werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. Let me fucking tell you something right now. How fast and how agile these niggas are,
Oh.
I now 101% understand how them military fodder be feeling in fucking horror movies. We see them, they fucking full body suit, they got the armor, they packed to the gills with guns and all the type of shit, but they always getting murked first. I know how they feel now because it's damn near impossible to hit these niggas. I mean, they are doing parkour, they are speed blitzing on you, they jumping, vaulting, flipping, juking. It's just like, bro, as you know, the game is first person, right? And I'm playing on PC. Now, I'm no freaking shroud or anything like that. I'm no god of aiming, but I'm competent with the mouse. I think my flick is pretty good. And even still, I have a ridiculously hard time trying to aim and shoot these guys. That's how fast they're moving. And they're not staying still either. They're not running in a straight line. It's ridiculous, boy. And it's like, they're not just sending one at a time at you either.
Mm-hmm.
It's groups. It's like, bro, what am I supposed to do? I got a handgun in my hand. I'm shooting them, and they don't selling it. They not even flinching.
Emilio just said they take a lot of bullets, like bullet sponges, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I'm playing on hardcore as well. So, like,
Look at me. I'm joking. Nah, I know you're already guy, so you're used to the gameplay shit. Go ahead.
yeah. So, I'm not. Of course, I'm not going to spoil the game, but
Mm-hmm.
the first, e- anybody who's watched gameplay or even played a little bit, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. But that first big encounter, it legitimately, I was doing that shit for like 2 hours straight. I had no idea how the fuck I was supposed to get past this. I had to look up a video on how to do this. That was legit the hardest part in the game. I was only 30 minutes in. After that, I didn't struggle since. But bro, I had a handgun in my hand with like 12 bullets and a shotgun with like two shotgun shells. And nigga. All I can say after that. But the game is fantastic. Story, I am so interested. I think the story is fantastic. I think it's like
Return to
it does
form.
a good, absolutely, like it's going in a fantasy sort of. direction, but it still feels natural because you could tell like they're still pretty much like fucking BOWs and whatnot. And you could pretty much do anything with that. But like I think it does a good job of keeping you interested. You want to see what's gonna happen next. You want to see why these things are happening and whatnot. And it's a damn good time. This game, I feel like once everything is said and done, even though I've heard bad things about the ending, apparently, I'll be the judge of that. But I feel like once everything is said and done, I beat it. I feel like it's probably going to be high up there for me.
like an upper echelon Resident Evil
Yeah.
game. Not necessarily the best, but in that top,
Hmm.
percentile. For everyone who's saying should I play, I mean, I'm really not against playing 7. I really don't care that I'll be scared. What I actually care about is y'all fucking roasting me because I can't fucking shoot. I can't aim. I'm not trying to have y'all say, yo, look, what were you shooting at? It's over there. I'm not trying to hear that.
Lord knows I'm doing it. I'm saying
I'm
that.
not trying to hear that. Nigga be cooking me. I can't shoot, dog. I'm Canadian. So I be missing. I be panicking. I be shooting allies because I saw someone move. I can't be trusted. Yo, I'm notorious for my friends being like, yo, come play fucking wow. What the game with Tiny Tina called again? Borderlands, right? Yo, come play Borderlands with me. And I'm like, and I always say this shit. I go, are you sure? Like, yeah, man, come play with me. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now what's gonna happen. I'm gonna play with you. I'ma suck. You finna get mad cause you carrying me. Then I'm gonna get mad cause I don't wanna fucking play cause all you're doing is saying I'm shit. And lo and behold, we started playing the game. We having fun. He laughing it off. Then once shit got serious, he pissed off that you have to carry me. Leave me alone. I can't shoot. Now I can combo the fuck out of somebody. Don't get it twisted. We throwing hands, fighting game, I'm in there. I gotta shoot, I'm not in there. I'm not in there. I don't got it like that. I don't know what it is. If it's
Oh
gyro
man,
aiming, I'm fine though.
because it's like I even seen that there's been like people already been creating tips and whatnot for aiming
Mm-hmm.
in this game because as I said, everything moves so fucking fast
Mm-hmm.
and they're not gonna wait for you. They will not hesitate to freaking jump your ass and get you the fuck out of there.
That's crazy.
And I mean like it's I would imagine it's especially hard aiming with the fucking controller because dead zone and shit like that. Cause the man, just them werewolves alone. I mean, when I say flippity dippity, these they be sitting on top of rooftops. Like this
Triple
is the
flip, thanks for the dip. Fucking Finn the Human.
son. They be sitting on top of rooftops. Like this shit fucking gargoyles, the cartoon. Then when they see you, niggas do a fucking side flip, land on the floor, fucking do a juke, run in a zigzag, and before you know it, the niggas in your face. You're like, what just happened? What the hell just happened? And it's like this game, I'll never forget. I'm running through fucking Lady Demishtru's fucking uh castle. At one point, I legit was running around here with 99 handgun bullets. And it felt natural. Like it didn't feel like that the game was giving me too much ammo. No, I needed that. Cause
He said he needed all 90. I needed 100 to be honest. That's what he said.
because them enemies they do not go down easy. They they're not sparse at all, and they don't hesitate. Like, bro, it's great, man. And speaking about Resident Evil 7, 7 is actually legitimately fucking spoopy. There's like at least 4 different instances that hand me the fuck out of there. So
That
have fun playing
cause
that.
you and Mookie were telling me like Resident Evil 7 was that return to like horror, like scary, like and I'm like, damn, I'm not kicking fucking niggas with Leon no more. I'm not kicking. I'm not showing my Sanji gimmick. I'm not kicking the fucking Las Plagas niggas. Oh man, we'll see though.
Yeah, no,
It'd be
they're
interesting to see me play it. It'll be interesting to see me play it. But again, as soon as I start feeling insecure about my aiming, I'm turning it off. And I'm playing, and I'm telling you right now, I'm playing in the middle of the day. The lights on, the lamps on, the shade is open, the sun is beaming in, so there is nothing but light. Okay, I ain't playing in no fucking dark room. I will have a Kira type heart attack. I promise you.
Yeah. To answer fucking Almighty, yeah, we haven't been dealing with zombies for a very long time. Not since Code Veronica.
Essentially,
And
yeah, people trying to digitize their fucking mind and all kinds of shit. It's
it's yeah, and it's like it. And, this is not spoilers because this is literally in the trailers and whatnot, and it's so fucking not this. This is one of the things I knew was gonna fucking happen because I'm fucking waifuism dorks. But anyways,
mm,
you actually watch the trailers, at least one out of the four trailers for this goddamn game, you would know that Ethan has to deal with not one, not two, but four different families. That
mm,
means at least four different enemy types in the game. So you have your vampires, have your werewolves, you got
niggas.
you got some fucking sea creature shit,
Oh, that's the worst. D
and you
virus
got
abyss.
fucking
Oh, I'm good.
and you got fucking dolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we've already established from the trailer. Folk getting so angry that fucking Lady Dimitri not the fucking main antagonist. She never was. What the fuck?
It didn't, but didn't, but like no. I remember her specific. I feel like she was taking orders from a phone for something.
Exactly.
Okay, okay, all right. So I'm not tripping. Okay.
Exactly. So and it's like what's so crazy is they could easily have made all four of the fucking family heads, all four of these goddamn yonkos have their own like standalone game. But the fact
Mm,
that you got to deal with all four of them in the same game, like, yeah, this is going to be a long journey, and I really love that. I'm really going to be on a fucking epic adventure type shit, just not on your fucking shonen gimmick. We on a horror adventure. It's not going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of blood. There's going to be a lot of tears, but it's going to be an adventure regardless. I
yeah.
feel so overwhelmed, but it's like still so interesting just to see what's gonna happen, why is this happening, and freaking the whole reason why we're here to begin with because blank and shit. So it's really
Any
great.
rocks to punch in though or not?
Well,
He looking kind of swole again. You know.
unfortunately, we don't get to play as Chris, so there's no rocks to throw.
I want the fat mommy to throw me like a rag doll. You see, I'm not with y'all on that. She looked like I don't know. They look dirty, so that's all I care about. I don't care how pretty or whatever you think they are. They have blood on their shirt, fucking mud and shit. They look nasty. You know me. I'm a hygiene guy. Like I always be to talk about. Oh, look at fucking Piak. I'm like, bro. You know what fucking how these people are living? She smells. They don't bathe over there. They got no technology like that. The fuck you talking about? I ain't fucking none of them. Nasty
Like,
ass Attack on Titan niggas in the fucking primitive age.
yeah, they
Pissing and
fucking
shitting on the street, throwing piss out the window. Fuck out of here.
fucking in the pot.
That's kind of the appeal. He said seasoning. Nah, you gotta go. You gotta go. He said seasoning. Oh, brush my teeth, therefore I'm right cards and all them hoes. I'm a 35 out of 10, 35 out of 10 limit break. There you go. That's crazy.
Like, son, it's like you know it's just it's so unfortunate, and that's one of the reasons why Ethan is raw because
Mm-hmm.
the shit that he had to deal with in seven was already bonkers enough. Then in this game, you got Eisenberg. This nigga, which I could speak because they showed it in the trailer, is literally fucking useless kid. This nigga came through with a fucking big ass hammer and fucking all the metal around him lifting up. This nigga got magnetism. I'm
Hey.
like, what? Son, I'm like, bro, I got a handgun. What am I supposed to do?
I got a rock. Charlie Brown.
This
Nah,
nigga,
it's mad funny when we be saying shit like that. Cause like, listen, I'm seeing vampires, werewolves, this and that. This nigga Psycho Mantis floating in the air. This person, yo, bullets and grenades. I have a fucking little pee wee pistol over here. What am I supposed to do? Help me. Like, yo.
shit is so bananas. This nigga came with his fucking Warhammer 40K fucking battle axe over his shoulder. They got a top.
Mjolnir.
Nigga got a top hat. Fucking metal just rising around him as he walk. I said, "There's no way." I got a pea shooter in my hand. This nigga force throw me. I can't do anything. What am I supposed to do? This nigga cover me in metal and is like fucking slamming me against the walls and shit.
I did hear that Ethan is like very clearly very tolerant and has a lot of vitality because I heard him be going through it. I
I
seen.
mean, well,
Oh
I
yeah,
can't speak on it because I spoil it.
I almost said something crazy. Let me stop. But yeah,
Yeah, but it's like,
glad you're
bro.
having fun though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm so happy that I could freaking play Resident Evil again and be, happy and be like thoroughly entertained. And I feel like they did a good job because I got my puzzles. It's scary. I got my enemy types. The setting is good. Story's interesting.
Mhm.
So I feel like they did a good job. I also wouldn't mind if we went back to third person, but first person is fine. I don't have an issue with it. Them purists, ignore them.
Oh wait,
But
this game's
Village,
first person.
yeah, the
Well,
game's
but
first
seven
person.
was, and it's still Ethan, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I prefer to see the character, but a good game's a good game whether I'm in first or second person. I mean, see, I would care more if I have to make the character and customize it. I'm trying to see my nigga, you know. But if you make me play as somebody, some white man, it's fine. Just let me see my hands. It's good. I'm alright. Okay, I'm gonna save these two for a second. Let's talk about the Stadia thing because that's not. It's not. That shouldn't take too long. But the Stadia vice president and head of products or production, I can't remember what he was, but he left the company after the post after they launched everything. So he left. He just straight up left, and I guess they're upset about that because it's like I guess Stadia is failing, right? It's failing. It's not doing good. I heard they just got a fucking search engine. I'm like, isn't this Google? I just I just don't know what's going on because if it's a Google system, I don't have the Google. All right, cool. But anyways, yeah, they're fucking up over there. I didn't actually really have anything to say about it unless you do. I just know it happened, and I was gonna move on to the Steam stuff. I want to see. I want to say anything about it.
Yeah, so I have an article about this too. This one is freaking super short. It's only two
Go
paragraphs,
ahead.
and it's funny because it brings more to the situation because it's actually more than after he left, right?
Yeah.
6 more Google Stadia staff members have left the company.
Okay.
So the article reads
That shit in the
a
mode.
further yeah, that shit fit a fucking yeah, let them have fun.
That shit
A
failed
further
already, dog. Fuck it. Mhm.
DOA, they want me dead on arrival. So, a further 6 staff members from the Google Stadia team have left the company, all transferring to the same studio. Among them are former Stadia Games and Entertainment General Manager Sebastian Paul and Corey May, former head of creative services and publishing Jonathan Dankoff, Pierre Marc. What? He French, I don't care. Arwen Le Rosique and Francis Denoncourt have all also departed Stadia within the last month, as a Reset Era post points out. All 6 members have taken on new roles at Haven Studios. It was founded by former Stadia boss and Assassin's Creed co-creator Jade Raymond earlier this year, with Paul listed as a co-founder on his LinkedIn page. Raymond left Stadia Games following the closure of his internal development studio. Haven Studios hasn't announced any games yet, but it's already received investment from Sony to help develop its debut game. The wave of departure follows from the very, excuse me, recent news that Stadia vice president and product head John Justice had left Google after 2 years with the company. That's ridiculous.
that
So
shit,
apparently,
that shit. No, it's just funny because like I'm thinking about the first time I read about Stadia to like now. Like it just gets progressively worse. Like they're like,
so
we gonna develop first party games. And it's like that costs money and resources. We're not gonna be making games here. It's just like when I think about it from the beginning to the end, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? But go ahead. Leadership has failed them clearly.
yeah, so clearly this is a mass exodus. So they're on their freaking All Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah gimmick where half the damn company left to go do their own shit, to form their own shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Stadia taking a huge shit because, as you said, They already was talking about we going to develop our own games. We got our in-house studio. We no longer are going to develop shit. We don't have an in-house studio.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have to pay money out the wazoo to each individual developer of the games that they put on their service. Since it's streaming and shit, nobody you don't actually own those games, so they have to pay the developer themselves. On top of that, I highly doubt sales for fucking Stadia were that great to even sustain those prices, so they're not making a profit. At
Nope.
least if you ask me, from my vantage point,
I'm getting
and
the same vibes. The vibrations here are the same.
and now you have like at least half the fucking company leaving to make their own studio. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised once they said Stadia closes their doors. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens like within the next year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
Cause what the fuck?
I, I don't know. That's crazy. But all right. So, I actually didn't type the full name of this game because I've never fucking heard of it. But it's called Broken Europa Universal Universalis something 4. And it got some DLC, whatever. And it's last time I checked, it was the worst reviewed game on stream. It was at like 3% at one point.
Jesus
And
Christ.
yeah, and I think Airport Simulator at some point was like one of the worst. And people are a little bit disappointed because I guess Paradox or Paradox Interactive or whatever they're called, Paradox Tinto or Tinto, I can't remember what they're called. I'm sorry, I'm trying, I'm not lying to you. I'm going off my brain. I'm just winging shit. But yeah, people are like very disappointed in them because apparently I guess they have some type of credibility at least within whatever game this is, Europa Universalis 4. So that's unfortunately, nigga just yeah, I did cast a spell right. Yeah, right. Europa Universalis Flipendo Alhamora. Like that's exactly what it sounded like to me. So, yeah, that happened. I don't know if we care about it because I don't know if I don't even know what this shit's about. There was a
I mean,
funny. Go ahead.
yeah, so Paradox Interactive is actually one of the biggest developers when it comes to
Oh shit.
strategy games. So they have the Crusader King series. They have what the fuck was this called? Hold up. They have your Europa Universalis, as you said, series, which already has fucking four of them. They have Age of Wonders series. So they're actually like they're a big name within that what you was it
Within
that
that sphere, that like okay,
yeah
that type of
of
like
strategy games.
yeah okay.
Yeah, I should say grand strategy games. My bad. Right, so they're pretty popular. People hold them in a high regard because Crusader Kings 2 is one of the games that stood the test of time. It came out in 2012, and to this day, it still is among like the top 50 played games on Steam and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you have the Europa Universalis series, which has been running since actually, let's go fucking look it up.
19. I'm a guess. I'm a guess. 1991. Final answer.
Huh. October 20th, 2000.
Wow. Never mind.
So it's been running for it's going on 21 years, right? So it's a long running series. People have probably been playing this since day one and shit. And for them to drop the ball this fucking bad, I'm surprised I actually haven't heard anything about this. But then again, I have fucking PC Gamer muted because
Mm-hmm.
they was fucking wiling out with fucking Village articles and shit. But that's just unfortunate. You really hate to see the mighty fall like that.
I
Worst rated on all of Steam?
It's funny too because what I was gonna say is that when I came across this because I was looking for some news and stuff. First of all, I found a funny thread where it's like I had to check myself, but sadly it's true. Although the second worst game is Airport Simulator, something I found the thread I was looking for. And someone was like, the OP was like on this thread it was like, sorry, I didn't look hard enough. Mustn't have looked hard enough, and it just kept abbreviating stuff with like contraction, like mustn't look hard enough. My bad. I mustn't look hard enough. My bad. Mustn't look hard hard enough. And someone said abbreviate this anymore, and you might summon Cthulhu. Let me post this in the. I don't know why this shit killed me, but that was funny as hell. But damn, I lost my other point, but whatever. Yeah, that shit was funny. that was just a funny interaction. Good job, Reddit. You made me laugh for the first time in years. Um,
Yeah, sometimes them folk be funny on there.
yeah, but also related to Steam. So, well, you're gonna have this one, but Steam is being sued by Overgrowth. Steam takes I didn't know actually didn't know about the percentage they took, but they take 30% revenue from everything sold on this platform. So that's everything. So
Yeah, so I actually have two articles about it. One about the 30% thing and one specifically about fucking overgrowth.
mhm.
So if as y'all know, and if for those who don't know, Steam literally has a pseudo monopoly on the PC market because unfortunately we came to a point where PC games aren't sold physically anymore, right? So there are no more big box games and shit. You can't go into like a department store and see a shelf of PC games anymore, right? They're primarily damn near like 99.9% sold digitally and shit. And Steam kind of sort of really has a fucking monopoly on it,
Mhm.
and it's like you really can't ignore them if you want your game to do anything and shit. If you're trying to get fucking popular or if you're trying to make a profit on bank or whatever the fuck, right? So apparently we found out some interesting news about Steam. Y'all know I have big heat with Valve. I think they're absolutely garbage. I think Steam is a garbage platform, and the only reason why I put up with it is because it's the biggest one, right? So
Yeah, I know.
I have big heat with Valve. But anyways, so here we go. Most game devs don't think Steam earns its 30% revenue cut. Only 6% of developers say game stores are justified in taking a cut of 30% or higher. Steam is the dominant PC game distributor by far, but the majority of game developers don't think Valve is earning its 30% revenue cut. In a survey of over 3,000 game industry professionals, mostly from North America and Europe, only 3% said that it's fair for stores such as Steam and GOG to take 30% of their revenue. Another 3% said that more than 30% is justified. Strange answer, but most think the cut should be lowered. 43% said that a 10% or 15 cut is justified. The question which appeared in the 2021 GDC State of the Game Industry Survey was worded, what do you think is a justifiable amount of your game's revenue for digital storefronts, e.g. Steam, Epic, App Store, to take? A similar question was asked in GDC's 2020 survey, although it was aimed directly at Steam. What do you think is a justifiable amount of your game's revenue for Steam to take? In that survey, just 7% of respondents said that 30% or more was justified. 2019 survey posted a yes or no question asking if Steam's justified its 30% cut and Valve didn't fare well there either. 32% of respondents said no and 27 said probably not. The 30-70 revenue split, which once seemed like an immutable industry standard, has been heavily scrutinized in recent years, in part because Epic Games came out swinging in late 2018 when they launched its Epic Game Store. Epic declared that a 30% cut is unreasonable and set its fee at 12%, directly challenging Steam, GOG, and the Apple and Google App Stores. Epic's competition didn't scramble to join it, but it has budged. Steam lowered its cut, though only for big publishers who've bought in over $10 million on the platform. I fucking hate Valve so much. Apple took the opposite approach. Like, bro, we can't make this up. This shit not fiction. Let me
Oh
continue.
Christ, what the fuck is
Apple,
going on? I gotta be mad at everybody, not just Nintendo. What's happening? I gotta hate gaming, the gaming industry. I'm mad at everybody except
yo,
Supergiant,
yeah, they the best,
obviously.
you know.
Obviously.
Apple took the opposite approach, favoring small iOS developers by having the 30% App Store cut for those that earn under 1 million in revenue per year. Google's Play Store will follow suit this year. The Epic Game Store isn't a feature rich as Steam, especially when it comes to community stuff. Who fucking cares? Go play video games. Shit's not MySpace. Sorry. and is currently limited to games handpicked by Epic, whereas anyone could submit a game to Steam for a $100 fee. Epic plans to open up its stores to more developers by the end of the year, which
Is
they
that wait?
actually,
I didn't know that. You could, like $100 fee. That's it.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. I might put some bullshit on Steam.
Oh, trust me, there's plenty of fucking
Of
bullshit
course
on
there is.
Steam.
I've played some bullshit on Steam.
Oh god. Epic plans to open up its stores to more developers by the end of the year, which they actually have already started. They bought itch.io, which is a big um publisher for indie titles.
Hey.
Some of you probably play games that came off of itch.io, Momodora being a big one.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
And continues to build new features, though it still draws anger from PC gamers over its exclusivity strategy grow up. To muscle into Steam's territory, Epic has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on deals that keep games on Epic Store and off Steam for a year. It's burning through cash for now, but Epic maintains that its 12% cut will be enough to profit in the long term, challenging the idea that game distributors need to take 30% to be viable. Steam
Mm-hmm.
30% cut is clearly unpopular. So if Epic really can sustain a store on 12%, it may attract more developers and publishers in the long run. For now though, the Epic Game Store has a long way to go before matching Steam's size. Only 6% of the developers surveyed said that the majority of their revenue comes from the Epic Game Store, and 78% of them don't sell anything on Epic's store. In contrast, just 40% of developers said they don't sell games on Steam, and 47% of all the developers surveyed earn half or more of their revenue from Valve's platform. Related to Epic's big swings at industry leaders, Epic and Apple go to court next week to resolve a dispute that led to Fortnite being pulled from the App Store last year. The lawsuit is sometimes misunderstood to be about the size of Apple's 30% cut, but blah, 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 blah. Has nothing to do with Steam. Okay, so that's the deal with
12 actually seems pretty low to me. Oddly
um
enough, I mean, no, like mad respect, like do what you gotta do. I was thinking in the range of 15 to 20, maybe. Personally speaking, so 12 is interesting. I didn't know Epic only took 12. 30 is a lot though.
30 is a fucking fuck ton. And I unfortunately I didn't bookmark this article. I should have because it would have segued good. But even Microsoft is now throwing a quick jab at fucking
Wink,
Steam
wink.
with, with their with their Microsoft store on Windows 10. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they said that they're going to cut down their revenue fee to 10% or some shit like that. I believe it was lower than
Mm-hmm.
12%. So
Because what they were saying is
yes.
in the long term, the 12% will be enough, even though immediately they may not see that. But okay, I like long term thinkers. I don't like people who think short term. It's fucking stupid. I
Yeah.
understand you could
So
get hit by a bus and die tomorrow, but still, plan for the long term.
that's the whole issue with fucking Steam taking big heat with how they
I blame the lolly low
treat
low.
yeah, how they use that group to muscle developers onto their platform. So what do you think about that? That 30% shit, them taking fucking God knows how much money from developers, all that other fun shit, and blah blah blah.
It's easy for them to do it. Like you said, they have such a monopoly on this kind of stuff, right? They own most of it. They've been there the longest, I believe, right? And
Yep.
you know what I'm saying. So like, what always happens with stuff like this, right? Is people who really game probably get it. You know what I'm saying? They get it. Like they know. They get the different various launchers and stuff and understand that stuff. But for the average person who just likes games, who doesn't really take that next step, they'll never really get past Steam unless Steam becomes undesirable for some type of scandal or something. So it kind of reminds me of like today I was talking to my friend about basketball, and it's like when we talk, we never argue anything because when we have an argument, we always give you the full context because we're historians of the game. There's no agenda being slung here, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if Epic. Because I like Epic. Epic was cool, man. They had all the deals and shit. I'd be getting my emails and say, hey, yo, that's raw. And like, not be opening the launch. That's the only launcher I keep opening. I haven't opened Ubisoft since I beat Origins. I'm not gonna lie to you. So
Yeah,
but Steam,
freaking
but 30's too much. 30's too much.
30 is way too much. And Valve just does a bunch of fucking silly ass shit, especially when it comes into the R18 district. They are constantly flip-flopping. 1 minute they're okay, next minute they're not okay. Then they come up with some stupid rule talking about some, oh, if if there's school type settings or anything adjacent to that, you can't put the game on here, but then turn around and then put games on the freaking platform that got shit like that. And they're constantly flip flopping on numerous topics and genres and shit like that, on top of allowing God knows how many asset flips and garbage ass games on they shit. And the user base is fucking racist as God knows what. It's it's fucking horrendous, man. I hate Steam, and they need a big fucking punch to the side. They need to be taken down a peg or seven because it's ridiculous. And just similarly to the fucking drones with WWE, they're so brainwashed. Steam users are so brainwashed to believe that if it's not Steam, then it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's not Steam is bad, and you shouldn't.
Well, this is
You
what I
you
talked
shouldn't.
about, not getting to that next level. So this is what I was hinting at. Like they'll just say, no, Steam's fine. Like this is what I know. It's like, bro.
Yeah, they freaking are so tribalistic over Steam for no fucking reason. Oh, if it's not on Steam, I'm not buying it. I'm waiting for it to release on Steam. It's like, bro, y'all complaining about exclusivity, nigga. These are all storefronts that are free. The only thing that is costing you,
It's the games.
it's not even that. About 5 through 30 megabytes of space on your hard drive.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fucking it. It's not costing you anything to have a fucking the Epic launcher on your shit, to make an account. All that is free. It's not costing you anything. It's not like you have to buy a whole new console to get those games. It's all free. Oh wow, I gotta close this launcher and open this one.
But there's that
Big
too, man.
whoop.
You're comfortable. People get comfortable, man. People don't like change. People hate change. So
Mhm.
none of these behaviors shock me in the slightest. I know what
Yeah, it
world we
is.
live in. Clown world.
Shit. Oof. Honk honk. Do, 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 do.
Side so
It's
bob head ass.
yeah, so it's freaking bananas, and I'm just so happy that finally somebody is taking it to Steam, because they was really running up and down here like they was invincible,
I
that you
almost thought
can't
they were gonna
punch.
become Disney at one point for games. You know,
Is
Disney
that me?
just gathering, just getting a monopoly over the movie industry by just fucking gathering Infinity Stones. Oh, oh, I'm gonna take Lucasfilms, yes sir. Boom, add it to the rat. Like I'm gonna take this, yes sir. Like yeah, they're going crazy. That rat is unstoppable.
Oh my god, that the mouse, Jesus Christ, he's the final villain. For real.
Yep.
So not only that, but Overgrowth, a game developed by Wolfire Games, filed an antitrust lawsuit against Valve. The suit says that Steam suppressed competition and takes an extraordinarily high cut from developers. Wolfire Games, a developer of Overgrowth and Receiver, has filed an antitrust lawsuit against Valve, alleging that it used its dominance over the PC gaming market through Steam to suppress competition
Ooh.
while it extracts an extraordinarily high cut from nearly every sale that passes through its store. The ubiquity of Steam means that if developers and publishers want to reach the largest possible audience on PC, they must make use of it, and thus must also abide by Valve's terms of service. That means not only forking over a 30% cut of all sales, unless they make over 10 million fucking USD, but also agreeing to restrictions on pricing that ensure that other storefronts are unable to compete on price. Valve can, and does, according to the suit, prevent developers from setting lower prices on non Steam storefronts and from selling Steam keys at lower prices to other distributors. In Wolfire's estimation, that sucks for game makers, but also for gamers. In order to afford Valve's 30% commission, game publishers must raise their prices to consumers and can afford to invest fewer resources in innovation and creation, the suit states. Gamers are injured by paying higher retail prices caused by Valve's high commissions, competition output, and innovation are suppressed in ways that can never be fully redressed by damages alone. The lawsuit claims that Steam's domination of the market can be seen in the fact that no other storefront, including those operated by deep pocketed heavy hitters like Electronic Arts and Microsoft, have been able to make meaningful headway against it. Origin, the Microsoft store, and others like Ubisoft and GOG have survived but hold relatively tiny slices of the market, and both Electronic Arts and Microsoft have brought their games back to Steam after attempting to go solo, which is absolutely true. Even the Epic Game Store is cited in the lawsuit as a failure because while it is currently Valve's chief competitor in the digital PC marketplace, it has only been able to do so by spending hundreds of millions of dollars on exclusive deals with publishers. Even after that, it still holds a relatively tiny share of the market, roughly 15% as of June 2020. Presumably intending to point out the less obvious hurdles that putative Steam competitors face. The lawsuit also notes that Epic's effort have promoted significant blowback against it. The release of Borderlands 3 as enabled for the EGS platform rather than Steam Games platform, for example, triggered a backlash among some gamers, while reactions including call for boycotts, YouTube rants, conspiracy theories, and review bombings. It states one user started a petition on the R Gaming online Reddit community. That user argued we can't just let Epic Games keep buying out exclusives to their expletive launcher. This is very anti-consumer, and it is literally Epic paying millions to 2K just to expletive over us, the buyers. This is fucking ridiculous. The launcher's free. I
Bro.
really suggest everyone on PC to boycott the game until it releases on Steam so Epic does not get any of our money. Jesus Christ, go touch some grass.
Where are these? Where do these type? What the? What is this? What is this? What do I, bro?
Oh man, there's more. It's worth remembering, however, that despite the unhappiness, Borderlands 3 was a big hit and became 2K Games' best-selling PC game of all time. In fact, the suit quotes Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney as saying the company would hastily organize a retreat from exclusives and possibly even put its own games on Steam if Valve offered a more competitive platform. Then we have a quote from Tim Sweeney. I'm not reading it. Wolfire and co-defendants William Herbert and Daniel Escobar, residents of Florida and New York respectively, who have made purchases through Steam and thus paid super competitive prices for PC desktop games, are seeking the usual blend of damages, costs, and legal fees. But they're also looking for injunctive relief removing Valve's anti competitive provisions, which the suit says is necessary to bring competition to the market and benefit the public as a whole. Seeking what would
Competition is a
effectively
good thing always, man.
Seeking what would effectively be a wholesale reconstruction of Steam's business practices is a big ask, but may not be completely out of reach. Epic's willingness to eat losses has enabled it to push back against Steam in ways that other competing storefronts never have, and we're starting to see a ripple effect as a result. The vast majority of respondents to a recent GDC survey said that Steam's 30/70 revenue split is out of line. And earlier today, Microsoft reduced the cut it takes from game sales on its store by more than half, from 30% to 12%, the same percentage that Epic charges. Apple has also halved its 30% App Store cut for developers who make under $1 million per year, and the Google Play Store is following suit this summer. This is the second such lawsuit against Valve this year. In January, a similar suit was filed on behalf of 5 individuals, accusing Valve of using its dominant position in the market to keep game prices high, although several developers and publishers were named in that action as well, including CD Projekt, Ubisoft, and Devolver Digital.
Wow.
Wolfire's full lawsuit against Valve is available on Scribd or Scribd. I've reached out to Valve for comment and will update if I receive a reply. And that is a fucking article.
That's
Ooh.
that's what happened. But this is sometimes what happens when there's no competition in the market. The big fish will just be like, hey, where else are they gonna play? What are they gonna do? You don't play, you pay up. This is what happens. I'm shocked by none of this behavior. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. Am I surprised? Not even slightly.
exactly what he said. It's not a surprise at all, but it's still absolutely disappointing to see, and that's why competition is a good thing. It always has been, and that's why whenever you see like a company and it's just them by themselves, or they have such a high like gap over everybody else. So you have shit like what fucking Sony's doing, what Valve is doing, all that other bullshit. And it's like, bro, this not good. Like
Not at
this
all.
is not fucking good.
Not at all,
Valve was in
buddy.
the Valve was in the right place at the right time conveniently, and thus has created a fucking amalgamation of an empire. And now look, they're fucking reigning tyranny over fucking the PC gaming world. And it's fucking ridiculous,
That's
man.
what power does, man. You get power, all you want is more. Power begets more power.
And it's
Can't trust the Patriots.
it's like, yeah, man, I'm just happy that we're finally firing back, and as the article said, it seems to be like a snowball effect because now more and more are piling on and doing the same thing. And it's like, bro,
Because they could try something, as a unit. If every other option is like that, you know what I'm saying? It could do something. I don't know what it does, but it could. I respect them for at least standing up for themselves in some aspect and trying, especially if they're willing to take some early losses. I can respect that because I like Epic. So
yeah, I don't got no heat with Epic. And it was so funny because I saw somebody bar the fuck up out of dweebs who just was repeating shit that they heard from like a Reddit post or a YouTube page and whatnot. Because PC Gamer posted the current week's free games from Epic, and there was some dweeb, don't use Epic, it's bad. It doesn't even have a cart function. And then dude was barring him the fuck up of what Steam does and doesn't have, and how those arguments are so arbitrary and they don't fucking mean anything.
wait a minute.
Just get your game and fucking play it.
Wait a minute. I understand. It's nice to have a cart. Sometimes you put some shit in there you're not gonna buy now. I promise you, I don't need one. I'll just buy the game when I want it. Then I'll move on. I just it doesn't even have a card. I had enough of this. Okay, so now we'll talk about the power and importance of HUDs and UI. So heads up display and user interface.
See,
And the reason why I want to talk about it because I think it's an interesting topic, obviously. But I back in the day, I was supposed to make a near autonomous video because that was the day I learned about what diegetic UI is. Right? There's a couple different types of UI for people. I'm sure there's a bunch. I'm familiar with four. Right? You have diegetic UI. So what that really means is the diegetic elements are implemented into the game, so it increases your immersion. So it doesn't. It's basically, let's say you're playing Overwatch, right? When you pull out the map, the character actually just pulls a map out, and you're looking at it like almost in game real time, as opposed to like a transition, and you go to a menu screen, which is like a very video game esque type thing, which would be non diegetic UI. Everything has like its pros and cons. There's no necessarily right way to do it. It depends on the game. Because for like Metroid Prime, a lot of the heads up display that you will see is a part of Samus's actual helmet. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And I've always kind of appreciated that. And my favorite version of this was with Nier Automata because they're actually androids with certain levels of storage and stuff, and you can literally mess with the heads up display. You can remove that if you want to add like more attack power and stuff. So um, that's always fun. The other one is spatial UI. Spatial UI is like um, they're presented as parts of the game in a 3D space, but they're not really like a part of like the game's world itself. So let's say like you were playing a video game and there's a lamp, and as you walk towards the lamp, like over it, it'll say like press A to turn light on or turn light off and stuff. Like obviously that part is just for us. You know what I'm saying? And then
Mm.
I remember the last one. I think it's called Meta UI. But yeah. So the reason why I think I see a lot of people like to play certain games and completely remove the heads up display, but I always like games with a good heads up display that kind of keep me informed about things like the weather, maybe having a really good mini map in the screen in the bottom, in the top right or something like that. I think if you have a really good one, especially to me, if it's the diegetic ones are my favorite because it doesn't make me feel like it doesn't fuck with my immersion. It makes me feel like I'm actually like playing the game and I'm in the game and everything like that. They're my favorite types because again, immersion is important to me. Cause but I didn't even sneeze properly. I was like, it didn't even come out. What the fuck was that? Anyways, I was trying to sneeze and I was gonna sneeze and then like died missed. I don't know what just happened to me. My body's fucking up, guys. It's over. But yeah. What are your thoughts?
Um, so I'm
And
actually,
sorry if you have a preference like of UI.
yeah, so I actually think that, the whole UI slash hood thing is a very double-edged sword. Now, my preference, I'm a dinosaur man. Just give me my green bar for health, blue bar for magic, and I'm good. I don't need all that simplistic, minimalist, no heads up display, dynamic heads up. I don't need none of that.
I need all of it.
Just put my health bar there and I'm good. You know? And the reason why I say that is because games, a lot of games, they don't, unlike, the examples that you use, your Metroid Prime and your fucking automatas, those are, I would say that those are the exception to the rule because they are so sparse, far and few between. Most games, they're just doing that to copy off of a certain style. So, for example, once upon a time, many, many, many moons ago, what was it? 2003 or 2004? I don't remember fucking year. A game with a similarly to um Doom guy, a space marine in all green armor debuted. That game was called Halo Combat Evolved. And in that game, you don't have a health bar. Well, you have a health bar, but not really. What it does is you have a shield, right? And that shield can deplete and they could break your shield and you take damage once your shield is broken. However, your shield can regenerate after time if you don't take hits for a certain while. And that one mechanic, in my opinion, has put a giant fucking curse on the gaming industry since. Because once they introduced that regenerative health mechanic, every fucking game out the wazoo now fucking has this mechanic. Now there's no more health bars,
Well,
right?
sorry, I was gonna say, is this around the era that fucking Wolverine game came out too, where you could heal and shit? Oh, I know it's Wolverine, but I remember an era where everyone was just healing, like a good 2 years where everyone was just healing if you weren't getting hit. But sorry, keep going. Don't lose your train of thought.
Yeah, so every game after that, there's no more health bar on the screen, right? You just there's nothing on the screen, and you only know that you're about to die because there's a bunch of fucking Hawaiian punch on the screen or whatever the fuck,
and the
whatever
corner
filter.
and the four corners get a little reddish, you know.
and 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 then you would wait and you would regenerate your health. I think that's fucking stupid, right? And not only that, but it makes games easier in the sense because okay, well, I don't need to worry about not taking damage because my health is going to regenerate regardless. So who fucking cares, right? And that sort of thing. And that's really where my heat with the minimalist sort of hood and UI obsession comes from because games focusing ever since Halo debuted that regenerative shield thing. Now every single game after needs to do that. Now every game you just have regenerating health. You don't have a health bar. There's no health. There's no more health pickups or whatever the fuck. Which again lands into the UI. That's why I greatly prefer if you just give me my health bar, it does not regenerate. I have to pick some shit up or do something to regenerate it.
Hmm.
So but are more dynamic and minimalist hood slash UI is a bad thing? No, not necessarily. I personally have a problem with them, but I don't think they're a bad thing. But as I said, the whole curse I think Halo placed on the industry inadvertently
Hmm.
is not a good thing. But yeah, I like shit. Matter of fact, just give me a fucking logo of the main character's head in the top left corner and the number three next to I know I got 3 lives and that's it. I'm good. I don't need to know nothing else, man. Like
I, I
it's
I'm a person who works better with information. So if I've a little bit shit on my screen, like some weather or the wind is going 9 miles an hour. Well, for me, well, I said that miles because kilometers per hour would probably be for me and shit like that. I appreciate the shit like that. And I remember when I was playing Dead Space and I realized that Isaac's shit health bar was in his fucking the back of his suit and shit, and the status meter. I thought that shit was mad cool,
it
right? Like,
absolutely is.
yeah. So like I appreciate it because like for me, I just like very little things like that. Like I never forget the first time I played a game and I came out the water and like the character was wet for a little bit. I'm like, oh, I was just dry instantly. I like that. Small. It's not important, but I mean I greatly appreciate it. So, and that but to the UI thing, I I'm okay with very simple menus. I sometimes I hear people complain about menus like, oh look at this shit, it's in Comic Sans. And like, dog, does it get the job done? Like, what does it say? Options. You know it's option. What more do you want from it? Like, like, so I'm probably I'm with you there with the simplicity a little bit on for that because like, listen, Persona 5 has a marvelous UI. Like I love it. You know, to be my fucking the doctor be crossing her legs, open the book up, boom, her feet kicked up, and you're seeing that shit. It's cool, but I don't need it. I just need to know, fucking this restores this much SP. It costs this much money, and I'll keep it moving. I don't need all that. It's nice though.
Yeah, so it's like it's welcome, it's cool, but in Persona 5 case, don't put in all your fucking effort into that and the rest of the game fucking ass. And oh man. So it's like and there's a lot of I mean, I understand because graphics have gotten to the point where they so fucking bootyful now, and they so photorealistic, and then you have your graphic mods on top of that to make it even more photorealistic shit look more real than real life type shit. You look outside, they got cracks in the sidewalk, there's dog shit smeared all over the place type shit. Then you look at your video game, everything clear, crisp, and clean. Each individual blade of grass blowing in the wind in a beautiful. The water looks so clear, you could just drink straight out the ocean type beat. So I understand why people are obsessed with things like photo modes and having nothing on the hood. Because I even sometimes do that where I would take the hood off if I want to take a screenshot if I think the scenery looks nice or whatever the fuck. But generally speaking,
I'm never
when
taking
I'm
it off.
playing, when I'm playing the game, I don't mind shit on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to put a map in the left corner in the top, I mean the bottom right hand corner, the top, my health.
I don't need a map. I'm hardcore. I remember the terrain. All right, then. I don't. I don't use the fucking map. Like I don't. People used to take off the shit. This shit in Breath of the Wild. Why? Like so you like,
Why?
nigga. I don't. Nigga, I am Zoro. I don't know where I'm going. I need a map. Like that's not going nowhere. What are you talking about? I'm not hardcore. I'm okay. I'm soft baby game gamer. All right, good whatever.
In the bottom left hand corner is, a little mini display of the character's body, and the top it shows the objective. I don't mind all of that. I
Yeah.
don't mind shit on my screen. So it's I do find it a little silly where folk fiending, oh my god, why did they use this type of font on the fucking menu setting? Type be like, bro, that shit say start, save, options, exit game, right? You can read it, right? What's the issue?
It's in
But
Comic Sans.
type
It's an
beats.
Arial. I don't like this font.
Now the games that go the extra mile to the point where it's not only implementing the UI into the game, but it uses it in very, creative and innovative ways, as you said with your fucking Metroid Prime. Oh my god. Metroid Prime, your fucking Dead Space, Near Automata, all that. Cool. I really like those type of games. They stick out for that fucking for those reasons, right? That's cool. But if you can't do that, if you can't think of shit like that, there's no problem with just putting the health bar down there. It's funny because one of my favorite Western RPG, Gothic, it uses a very minimalistic UI, right? The only thing that's on the screen is your health, your magic. That's it. So it's a red at the bottom right hand. It's a red bar for your health and a blue bar for your magic. That is the only thing on screen. There ain't no compass, no map, no freaking heads
No
up display,
map.
no objectives, none of that, right? So
There's
if
no
you want to
vision.
find
There's no passion. There's no aggression. There's no fucking mindset. Alright, sorry.
it's like that game, it tried to do everything through the actual gameplay, right? So if you want to know where you're going, first of all, you have to go buy a fucking map. And and then that game is what freaking that game is what cultivated the evil bastard in me. Because everybody in that series is always trying to jip you. Outside of the story NPCs, everybody is trying to get over on you. Right? So everybody's a bastard. So you gotta buy a map, right? And when you buy the map, it's not like, oh, now you press a button and you got a map menu. No. You have to equip the map, right? And your character will take out the map and he'll look at it. You can't move while you're doing it. And he just look at the map. There's not even a you are here type shit. It's just a fucking map. And then when you're done, he closes it and he put it away. Right? So you're forced to memorize the fucking environment and shit like that and all that fun stuff. And
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
and it it's trying to lend everything to the actual mechanics and gameplay to what you're doing, which I think is cool. But do I need every single game to do that? No. I don't mind pressing the select button or the tab button in my case on my keyboard and a big giant world map come up with a bunch of shit on it. I don't mind that.
And it's
There's
like
nothing wrong with
the
that.
little triangle indicating where I am. Yeah, it's fine.
And I'll put my little waypoint or whatever the fuck, right? I don't mind none of that.
I need all that shit, by the way. If I got a map, I need all them. I need all them shits, wayfinders, points. I need to be able to stamp shit on my map so I can remember where shit's at. Please. Please.
Oh yeah, and I 101% agree with Barra that these are new nigga complaints. Absolutely. Cause
Listen, the first time I
anybody
saw Comic Sans was a problem. I just didn't know what to do with that. I'm like, honestly, I won't lie to you. Unless the writing is very fancy, it all look the same to me. It's alright. Like
anybody
text and font looks the same to me unless it's visibly like, oh, it's just bold, underline, cross through, strike, italic. Okay, yeah, a little different. Like, sorry, go ahead.
like unless it's super duper 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 cursive where it just looks like fucking squiggly lines to me and I can't read it, I'm Gucci. But yeah, anybody who's grew up playing SNES games, Sega Genesis games, PS1 games, PS2 games, they not complaining about this shit. I guarantee you they not. It's them new niggas who, their first instance playing games, there's nothing on the screen. And when they get hit, there's a bunch of Hawaiian punch on the screen. Then the shit go away after 5 seconds. That's why they complain about this shit, because that's all they know. That's what they was introduced to. So I agree with her with that, Blue Truth. That's new nigga complaints.
Yeah. Leg, what? Legia?
Leg,
Leg?
Legaya.
Legaya. Okay. Like, Legia? Like, two like that. No, you are here. No, you are here, Chris. I need to find keys to change the gaze. Like, bro. Oh, draw the map days? Yo, nah, I ain't going back to that. That's too far back. That's too far back. That's before my time. I only wish to go back to where I was alive. Okay? any further is too much. All right, so there was critical hit is in the top left for a corner. I didn't just put that there because of some gamer shit. We're gonna talk about critical hits. This will be the final topic that we speak about. So if anyone got this far, I appreciate y'all watching. Let's finish this off. But You know what? I'm kind of stupid because I definitely should have made you see the video. And the joke is, I saw it 2 weeks ago, so I'm now have to fucking dig into the archives of my memory and pull out shit from the video. But I'll start here. Do you like critical hits? Do you care about them? Do you not think about them? Do they mean anything to you? Yes or no? And I'll talk about them in certain. Well, let's start with like RPGs for the most part first. And I'll get to fighting games because some fighting games have it like Smash. Actually, Smash is not a fighting game, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody got triggered. Go ahead.
So do I like critical hits? Well, when you ask like when I get them, yeah, I fucking like them, but
That's a good answer. Okay, let me frame it like this. Do you see it? Okay, from what I've known, what I've researched, my understanding is that the initial reason critical hits were ever introduced was because in JRPGs a lot of times it's just a race to zero to get someone's HP to zero, and if you don't throw in some unknown variables like a critical hit, it's very boring. You know, you could just do the math and know who's gonna win because someone has this much health, this much attack, back and forth, back and forth. That's also the main reason why they added status effects. Status effects is because that throws another unknown variable. Yeah, you could attack. Oh no, now you're poisoned and burned, and you're
petrified
charmed.
and,
You're a toad. You know like so like. Do you agree with that? Like that would like that's a good way to add in an unknown variable, a little bit of excitement, if you will. Because I'm okay with number card. I'm okay with knowing I'm gonna win in 4 turns. That does not bother me. I don't like RNG shit. I hate that shit. But go ahead.
I understand the logic. Now, do I like it? That's a different question. I would say to force a question, yes or no, probably yeah, because in the short term, right, I don't mind knowing, okay, I'm a winning 4 turns, but if I mess up this one right here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a losing 6 turns type beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But when I'm playing a game that's average 35 hours, what's the point of combat if I knew I'm gonna fucking win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because that JRPGs are long by nature, they kind of have to spice it up so you don't feel like you're literally fucking scraping your brain out with a fucking spoon. Shout out Chaos Head. Right? So I understand it. You know, games, them JRPGs, there on average, a JRPG length is 35 hours. So for the next 35 hours, I know every time I'm getting into a fight, I know I'm going to win in 4 turns. As that omnipotentness that I'm already fucking like, what's the point of fighting then? Right? You know, so I understand that. Now, the
I'm
way that these
fighting to
things are
win. That's why.
the way that these things are implemented, it's the same. Like, so like what I'm trying to argue is like, for example, if I'm playing a game, right, and then I put on God mode, right,
Mm-hmm.
the game not fun no more because I know I can't be hurt. I know I'm not gonna lose. The poor
Yeah. Maybe I'm
well,
just a bully. I have no problem bullying the weak.
for me,
I can't
it's
get
like if
hurt. I'm stomping on all these villagers. Give a fuck. Go
cause
ahead.
if well, like if I'm playing a game and I have to, cause like I'm playing it and like I literally no matter what I do, I can't get past. So I'm like, fuck it, I just want this game to be done. So I put on God mode or whatever and beat the game.
Mm.
I'm no longer having fun because a part of the fun is that, well, again, to me,
What if you earned that god mode?
that's fine.
Okay.
That's absolutely fine.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
okay, it's like Ashante, when I got that thing, hey, I found every single thing in the game. I earned this. I don't care if I washed it. I don't care if I breezed to the end of the game. I earned this shit. Fuck y'all.
I mean, well, yeah, absolutely. That's I remember speaking about this before. I don't remember when, but before I think it was on stream where I said how I like games that start off crushingly hard but get easier as you progress.
To show
Yeah,
your
that's perfectly
progression.
fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because now you literally feel strong, like you earned all of that, right? So yeah, yeah, that's fine. But if I have to turn on God mode and I'm like, all right, whatever. A part of the fun is that danger of losing. I have to actually use my skill and whatever the fuck so I don't lose, I don't die, I don't lose progress, whatever the fuck, right? When I
Mm.
put on God mode, I can literally just stand there no matter what anybody does. nothing's gonna change and I just win. I'm not having fun anymore. That's just for me. So that the fact that they threw critical hits in and status effects as a literal monkey wrench, I understand the logic.
Okay. So one of my favorite Ome games, Okage Shadow King. Isn't that redundant? You just said Shadow. Did you just say Shadow King twice?
Maybe that
Oh,
might be the fucking
okay,
the
like
English
yeah,
title.
okay, yeah. Kaizoku O. Like I know. Okay, there's a complete RNG moment where OP characters throw an extra hit. There's no way to level up and get it. I would be praying for them to get crits. They were so rare, and I was too weak for them dungeons as opposed to crit hits based on higher chances with items and leveling. I'm good. I'll like it regardless. Okay, so like I'll get that's well said because I'm gonna get into like the next step of this now, right? Because like I know it. Wait. That's what. Oh, you said what's, okay, that's what the box said. Oh no, I wasn't saying you. I know that I believe that's what the game was called. It's just funny because it's just like I'm gonna just put the game in Japanese and English. Like I don't know. Sorry, it threw me off for a second when I was reading it. Now I lost my train of thought. Critical hits, something. Next step. Okay, so like I know critical hits aren't made equal in every game. So like there's some games where I understand that from my understanding from that video, it's like what you can do is actually customize your play style around critical hits because you could do things like you equip this item to increase your by 12%. I'm gonna use GOG 12% crit rate, and then you equip this with it to equip it more when you're fighting this type of monster, and then you can like do stuff and like okay, so like you have actually increased the likelihood of your critical hits to be more than your regular hits and stuff like that. That's interesting, I guess, in its own right. And I could see people playing around with shit like that and having a good time with it. Before I keep going, you want to chime in?
Yes, absolutely. Don't lose your thought though, because actually a very good example of what does that is Fallout and um fuck, what's the name of the other game? Fallout and fucking Fallout and fuck. Anyway, just Fallout then, all right? Because yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of styles where they just max out luck, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's actually really cool. And also,
You sure wasn't
Doofus.
was it? You sure wasn't Demon Soul or something? Because didn't we watch Donkey just to get up his luck to like a billion and one shot shit? You sure we're thinking of that? One of those games?
Nah, it was.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
was. Yeah, fuck. It's whatever. But I got another example anyway. So Fallout people they like to there's a lot of playthroughs and memes and shit where if you max out or greatly increase your luck stat, just the amount of stupid shit that happens to you because you're lucky, right?
Okay,
So I
yeah.
think that's actually fantastic the way that you could play around with it. And the other example I was going to use is Doofus, the MMO, the French MMO,
Mm-hmm.
right? They actually have an entire class based around that. They call it the fucking Ecoflip. They're cats and they fucking they fight with cars like fucking Gambit, right? So their
That's
the
cool.
way that they fight is the way that they fight is do their fucking luck stat. So they're not physically strong like a IOP or anything like that, but since they have a high crit chance, they have a lot of moves that first of all your crit stat it starts off your base crit stat starts off higher than every other stat, and if you further increase that stat on top of the other skills that would increase your crit and whatnot, and when you finally do attack, instead of doing like the 12 damage that you'd usually do, you're doing fucking 300 and shit like that, right? So
Big
I
difference.
absolutely yeah, so I've played Echo Flip before, so I actually like things like that where and that also lends into the other side or other tier, whatever the fuck it might have an actual name of character leveling, where you could individually distribute your stats instead of just all your stats randomly going up and shits. But yeah, I like if you could play around with your shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, character, race, base crits are cool and stuff. Yeah, I mean I can get behind that. That's not that bad and whatnot. But okay. Now, how do you feel about them in shooting games? Now, my understanding is some games literally have them almost like a RPG, like you could just get hit and it's a crit hit. But usually with those, what they do is if you pinpoint a certain weakness on an enemy or something like that, you get increased damage. So that's quote unquote more skill based. So if I snipe you from man far in the head, headshot type beat. Like that to me is fine. That
Yeah.
that skill.
So
Go ahead.
it actually depends on the game, right? Because I'm thinking of two examples. So you have one, Borderlands. Borderlands is a flat out RPG,
That's
right?
true. You have your numbers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, every gun has freaking stats and they're different. And when you shoot things, and not only that, but they have status alignments too. You have um electricity, you have fire, you have fucking corrosion, and then they had other ones that they added or took out depending on what game you play and shit. And then, certain status effects are more powerful against certain things. So flesh-based enemies, so like humans and like racks and fucking skags and shit like that. You use fire against them, they're weak against fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then the metal enemies, they're weak against electricity and shit like that, right? So
Idiot.
when a game that's a
Metal's not weak
full-blown
against electricity. What a stupid dummy.
so fucking what?
Yeah.
So you have a game that's full-blown RPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me because there's already stats to the game.
Okay.
Now, the counter argument is what they did to fucking Counter Strike, Global Offensive, CS:GO. Jesus fucking Christ. So in that game they actually added a probability to it all. So the game is very precision based, right? So that game, unlike Call of Duty, where you can literally run around, run across the fucking map, and jump on top, vault over objects, jump on top of the fucking building, and do a 360 and shoot a nigga across the map with a fucking sniper. In that game, if you shoot while walking, you're not gonna hit shit. You kind of have to stay still
Mm-hmm.
and be pixel precise to shoot things, right? So because that sort of style favors people who have good aiming, they decided to
Not me.
counter that. They decided to counter that by putting a fucking probability aspect to it. So now there is always a probability that you will fucking miss. Crowby Cat actually has a video on it. I will show you after stream, of course. And it's ridiculous. Niggas will be standing literally a centimeter away. They gun is literally clipping through the nigga's head. They will shoot and that shit say miss. That's not good. That's not good at all. I don't need critical hits in a game like fucking Call of Duty or anything like that. But if it's trying to go for a more RPG approach, I'm fine with it.
Okay. And my final one is for fighting games, and this is where I'll I'll throw you into the fucking sun. Why in the hell am I playing a game where sometimes when this character hits me, it just decides to do more damage and knockback? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
This is actually disgusting. Like you can just get hit with a forward smash from a hero, die at like 60%. Why? What is this? Why? What are we rewarding here? Just random fucking. I hate crits. Listen, like I said, I will have. Let me have my boring, monotonous race to 0 HP. I'm fine with that. I have a great time. I play Temtem. I ain't got no shit in there like missing attacks or nothing. It's just based on how I strategize and how I win. I like that they removed the complete random generated whatever number generator shit. I don't need that. I understand the reasoning behind it, like you said earlier. I actually think it makes a lot of sense. I get it, but do I need that? No. A race, because to me, it really isn't as simple as a race to 0, especially if status effects are in the game. So even if you remove the crit, there are still other variables. You can add shit like terrain. I'm okay with that. Maybe like in a Fire Emblem, if you're attacking me and I'm in the forest and the trees, my evasion will go up because
Always a
yeah, like that shit's fine. Like I could like there's tons of ways to add some excitement in these variables instead of me being like, oh yeah, like let me fight this guy. I miss my attack. And I'm thinking I'm fine, get hit by a fucking critical with a 90% chance and fucking lose my unit. I will kill you. I will lose it. I will fucking snap. I can't take this shit. Ain't nothing piss me off more than I make every right move, like logically and reasonably the correct move, and I die or lose or get punished on some luck shit. Like I'll use a very simple example. If Simi's gonna throw in a fucking Mon that's weak to water, and I predict it, and I use Hydro Pump, and he throws in his Charizard, and I miss, he used some attack, get a crit, and I die, I will throw the fucking game. What kind of shit is that? What are we rewarding here? That's really what my problem with a lot of mechanics are. I'm like, what are we rewarding? This is literally like some real life society shit where it's like we have a race of 10 people and everyone gets a participation ribbon and trophy. Nigga, if you ain't top 3 in that podium, you shouldn't get shit. Lament your weakness. Lament your fucking lack of speed. Get faster. This is some shit we just reward the nigga who sucks. I can't stand shit like that. That's why I don't really like games that I get something for taking damage. Why? You rewarding me for being hit? Alright, cool.
Freaking criticals and fighting games don't make no type of sense because ain't that the reason why we have, or I should say, specials are right there. They do more damage than freaking normal hits, so why we need crits on top of that? And now, of course, I understand every single fighting game doesn't have special attacks, ultimate attacks, whatever the
Even
fuck.
criticals, and there's certain ways. Like I know some games, like you could set up something crazy like that, but it's like you have to set it up like, how like how Junpei has his home run gimmick
Hmm.
in like Persona 4 Ultimax Arena, whatever. It's like, sorry, go ahead though. Go ahead, let me cut you off.
Yeah, so it's like, Guilty Gear and fucking BlazBlue, you have your instant kills, right? Every single character has a instant kill. And if they connect with it, it will instantly kill you. However, you can only do it once.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And if you miss it, you can never do it again until the freaking round is done. Right? So, and then you other games, you have specials, fucking Hadouken. A Hadouken will do more damage than a light punch. What's going on? Why do we need a light punch to do critical damage? That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense to me, like at all. Or like freaking if you guard break somebody and once they during that time when they stunned, it will do more damage. Not no. I randomly throw a freaking light kick. It is doing a heavy punch damage. Like that really makes no sense to me. Criticals have no business to do in fighting games at all.
It's part of the reason why I play fighting games. I like I understand there's characters who are based around RNG and stuff, and that's fine. I get that's a gimmick. Like I'll just say I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, so I'll just say Lum from Fantasy Strike. I don't like certain moves. You don't know what item he's gonna throw out, and like sometimes he might throw out an item that restores health, but I can pick it up and restore my health if I walk over it. So that's like risk and reward for somebody who likes to gamble. I'm not a gambler. I don't have a gambler's heart, mind, soul, body, finances, whatever. I don't like gambling. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy fucking losing shit, my money and shit, based on something that I feel like I couldn't control to control. Now, if you want to bet against me and something like, oh, like, are we doing this thing? Are we like we racing? If I win by how many seconds, I get such money. That's different because I'm betting on myself. All right, good night, Mara. I'm about to end it after in a couple minutes, anyways. That's fine. I'll bet on myself. Ain't no problem with that. But yo, what the fuck you mean I'm playing this game? I hit you with a combo, all right? Yeah, you come hit me some shit, and this one hit just decides to do as much as my combo did. Who did this? Who allowed this to happen? I'll kill you.
It don't make no type of sense.
Oh,
Like criticals, they just don't belong in fighting. I'm sorry, they just don't. There's so many ways to, implement the idea that a certain attack or what may have you will do more damage than normal attacks. We don't need to throw in
fighting game is
randomly.
Thank you. Fighting game is the last place you need to do it. Like let's just make up some shit right now. Like I'm picking Ryu's son, but he don't work the same way as Ryu. To do stronger Hadouken, I have to like put in an input to charge up his fucking key or some shit. and then I let it launch, but I can still dodge it or block it. But if you get hit with that, a Hadouken does more damage. That's how you do it. What you mean? This one Hadouken is not the Hatsuden where you use like a EX move. That's fine. I'm talking about like just throw one like three Hadoukens. Oh yeah, there's this much damage, and the fourth one hits me, and it does way more. Why?
Yeah, like a good example that a game for a game that doesn't have specials. Fucking Virtual Fighter. You know, you had a character, I forgot his name, but he do the drunken style and shit. And you know, how effective he is how many drinks he takes. So when you play as him, there's literally a little gourd icon in the bottom left hand screen with a number next to it, and he has a button where he will just literally take a swig.
Yeah.
And the more swigs you take, you know, the better his combos will be, the more nimble he is, whatever the fuck. Right? And you have your grappling characters. My son Wolf. You know, his combos, like his actual physical combos, they're very short and whatnot. But if you hit a big move like a fucking drop kick, it'll take a lot. And then on top of that, his grabs are his most dangerous. Versus somebody who's more fast paced, like my son Jackie. Yeah, I've got hands like lightning. He moves quick, and he does fucking taekwondo. You know, since he moves quick, he does a lot of strikes at once, but they're not going to take as much damage as somebody like fucking Wolf, where a single fucking drop kick from him is taking down like fucking 7% of your health or whatever the fuck. So why do we need criticals in a fighting game? That don't make no sense. It just don't make no damn sense. Oh my god.
There's already enough variables in a fighting game that you have to consider without these really arbitrary RNG. Like there's certain RNG things that are just natural, but like you know, trying to guess your opponent's, you know, whatever flowchart stuff. But I don't know. I am not a fan of critical hits on a general scale. I understand their implementation and uses of some games. I don't even feel like don't get me wrong. I'll take it when I get a critical hit. But do I feel good if I just kill some monster or something with a critical hit? I will say no. But I'll give you this exception. If I was in a really tense situation and a critical hit saved me from dying, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I won't lie to you. Otherwise, though, I don't even need it. And there's some games where it fucks you over. Like, what if it's a game where you can capture shit and stuff, or you're not trying to kill something? And
Man.
Because this has happened to me in Fire Emblem when I'm trying to recruit a unit from the opposite side. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just talk to them. You know, based on this, I should, you know, you'll have 14 HP left. My nigga goes, shing, pickle garden, pray, critical, dead. I'm like, oh my fucking god. Start to level over.
Oh man, yeah. Since it's RNG, it does. You know, Yeti has a point on all freaking fronts. It works both ways. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it could be beneficial, but it will fuck you over at the same time, and shit. And in some instances, it has no business being in it. Especially if a game is like super skill based or already has plenty of mechanics to combat that. There's no reason for criticals to be there. So I absolutely 101% understand his heat with them. You know, I'm not somebody who, like, again, outside of games where you could literally control your luck like a fucking Fallout, or you playing a luck-based character in an MMO or whatever the hell, that's fine. But where they're just always there and there's always a chance of it fucking you up in numerous amount of ways, I understand the heat. It's perfectly fucking valid.
Yep. Well, you know, see how he had his personal beef with Valve. This is my personal beef. I don't fuck with critical hits. I don't fuck with them at all. All right, goodbye.